I decided to write the book simply because when I came back from Canada, I was a scientist and I worked in the R&D field and I was applying Six Sigma. Then I came back over here thinking that countries in this region could benefit, and having local expertise with international experience is an advantage. And when I came to apply it, I found that everybody agreed that this is a good method. It's a good practice, so nobody disagreed. But when push comes to shove, nobody wanted to take that leap of faith. Right. So I realized that the issue was change. Change is a broad subject, change management, change itself, starting creating change events. So that's when I started to think that in this field there are so many books that's been written, but methods and technical case studies, but nobody actually wrote about what do you need to do to start the thought process so that you prepare yourself. Because whenever you want to improve, you need to first prepare yourself that we are going to change, and that acceptance needs to be there. Mostly it's communication and preparing people, but if that is not done, any amount of improvement, because it's the will to change, right? If there is no will to change, however much improvement that you introduce or create, even innovation for example, right? You can come up with the greatest technology, but if the people who are going to use the technology have got no will to change, then it's not going to be a successful technology. The same way, improvements as well. Everybody will come up with ideas, great ideas to improve, but if those that are affected by the improvement, they're not willing to change, so then that is not going to be successful. So we have everybody jumping on the bandwagon saying that I am improving, I am doing everything to improve, but then it comes to a halt very rapidly at the point where you need to adopt that improvement. So at that point of adopting that improvement, you need to change from what you've been doing all this while to something new. So there is a lot of subtle factors that can create resistance and derail the entire effort to change. So that was the thinking that drove me to write this book, Changing in Six Sigma. And it is a problem that I see all the time. I've done a lot of work in India, a lot of work in Indonesia, in Singapore, and in Malaysia as well. And it was the frustrations that was driving me to write this book, because everybody believed they will go and read what Jack Welch has written, all these top people who have talked about the successes they achieved when they followed certain methodologies of improvement, right? And they all talked about the effort that needs to be put in. But when it comes to those that are doing the implementation, the consultants or the experts in the field that go out to these organizations, they don't talk about the change aspect of it. Not many talked about the change aspect of it. And that is it's the soft skill, or it's the emotional part that not many relate to, because you can go and teach somebody all the technical skills, you can train them, and they will eventually develop that skills and become an expert in that field. But when it comes to actually seeing the true results, there is that the tip of the iceberg, and there is that small amount of effort that could make the difference, which is your willingness to